Today's Friday, the 9th day of April. I wanted to do a video. I don't have a script in front of me or anything. I never do. But I wanted to say something in regards to the video that was put out where this pilot, um, helicopter pilot, shot these civilians. You can clearly see that the people walking around were civilians, and anybody that can't see that really is blind. Now you can say, well, they were just dressed as civilians. Well, what we got right now is we're bringing the house down on ourselves over here. See, if you go outside your own house and you go around your neighborhood and shoot up the neighborhood, you think your house is just going to be just fine? You think you're going to be all safe and secure in your house if you go around blowing up the whole neighborhood, calling everybody around you a terrorist? It doesn't work that way, and it costs a lot of money to go around blowing people up and surveilling everybody else when your own underwear stinks to high heaven. That's what we got over here. We got a bunch of stinkers running things. Stupid stinkers. Greedy, stupid stinkers running things. And then Diane Sawyer she's on the news, and she goes, well, what do you think about it? Well, what do you think I think about it? What do you think people should, with any kind of a normal brain, should think about somebody in a helicopter just lighting up those people down there? Those people weren't aiming at the helicopter. They didn't even see the helicopter, I don't think, and it was obvious they weren't armed for bear or armed for anything, let alone bear. It was just pathetic, totally pathetic. That's right. That's a good use for that word, pathetic. And it's worse than pathetic. It's murder. And people that want to call it post-traumatic, these people, well, his buddy got shot right next to him. Yeah, well, um, what are we, how are we doing over there? We don't have any business over there. We never did. We don't have any business in Afghanistan either. That was all, they were all set up to go in Afghanistan even before 9/11. So um, that 9/11 was just conveniently, that was a convenient excuse. And 9/11, talk about a story with holes in it. I've never seen a story with so many holes in it. I mean, I thought the Kennedy story was bad enough. You see his head going to the side and all this, and he's supposed to get shot in the back and all that. That's one thing. But the story about 9/11 goes a lot further than that. A third grader looking at those buildings. How are we supposed to educate our kids and they don't even know anything about steel structured buildings? You don't know anything about steel structured buildings. If you think that a steel structured building is built out of uh, you know cardboard, or something, that's about the only way it could fall that fast if it was made out of cardboard. I mean, it's just ridiculous. The whole thing was just totally asinine, and it really pisses me off. It really does. And it pisses me off that people go along just to get along, and what another thing is the establishment. You see, what people don't understand is like Benjamin Franklin and a lot of the other people at the very beginning of our Constitution. They were part of the system, but they had to be part of the system in order to not be part of the system. That's a little different with me because I've never really been part of the system, at least where I could avoid being part of the system because I knew there was something screwy. And, um, and I really know there's something screwy now. I mean, there was something screwy before, but now I really know there's something screwy. And but it's all right to be part of the system. You almost have to be. I mean, you got to feed yourself and everything. But I mean, you got to get a paycheck from somewhere. But when it comes to taking orders to shoot innocent civilians, and then saying, "Well, my buddy got blown up, so and I've got post-traumatic stress, so I can go around and shoot these people because war is hell and everything, and so I'll just light them up, you know." And, well, sometimes somebody's got to stop and just say no. Just say no. Really say no. And here we are. We're guarding the poppy fields over there. You know, and I'm sure both the Republicans and Democrats don't have any beef about that, and they should, they should because what the hell are we doing? We take out the people that were actually getting rid of the drugs over there. That was about the only good thing that was going on, as they were eradicating drugs. Of course, they probably got the idea of drugs from who knows where. Maybe, like with China, they weren't doing much with drugs until the English got involved in the drug trade with them and got them all. We our Anglo-American whatever has been really evil. I mean, the Spanish were evil too in their own right, and they conquered all of South America, Latin America, and now they want the Latin America up here and South America up here, and so you know, it's all getting screwed up. It really is, and the corporations are eating it up. They are so greedy. That's the only real thing it is just all greed, and it comes from the biggest greed of all, which is the Rothschilds, which I bring up over and over again because people say, well, they can't just be this one big conglomerate in charge of everything. But what I say is that they supplied Roosevelt and the Rockefellers and the Morgans in the 1800s, and the Rockefellers started the Seven Sisters, which is the big sum of the oil, and the Morgans were in charge of banking and in charge of railroads, transportation and stuff. When they have that much influence, that just gives you that's just the tip of the iceberg. Because they were already in Germany and France and England in their central banking system. They set up the central banks. So always in the back of my mind, I keep the Rothschilds, or I keep it on the front burner because they are very influential and they very much want a new world order. Evelyn Rothschild very much wants a new world order. So we should really keep this stuff in the front burner. Thank you very much. And like I said, establishment is people mistake, people that are in the establishment are really good because the establishment is really bad. I mean, it's been around since the slave trade and drug trade, and I mean, it's still going on the same way it was back then. So, and not to go, don't just say, well, this is okay. You can go ahead and, you have post-traumatic stress, so that makes everything all right. No, not even close. Doesn't. And the person that said that, she didn't think it was all right either. But I mean, it's not even close to